first thing I want to try today is a deck I've been curious about for a while, which is going back to Arcanyst Faie. It's been a long time since I played this deck, or thought about playing this deck, and I'm really interested to see how it would perform in a more modern setting. So for those who are unfamiliar with the original version of the deck, Arcanyst Faie exploded into popularity when Ancient Bonds came out, which is now called, or is now a subset of Bloodbound Ancients, the set. Hey Roxanne, thanks for joining. Good to see you, man. How's it going? On the face of it, it sounds like a pretty standard tribal deck, but there's a lot of complexity in how it plays and the game plans it can take in any given moment. There's quite a few different Arcanysts. There's some that are more core than others. Like Alby's Sage, for instance, is like probably the card we're most likely to play of the three of. But there's all sorts of interesting options in here. And the other important part is the spell package. You don't have a ton of room for anything outside of Arcanysts and spells, but that's okay because there's actually quite a good variety of them. The main problem with this deck is it's received a lot of nerfs since its heyday, and along with that the meta has obviously moved on over time. Like Chromatic Cold, Aspect of the Ravager, Mana Death Grip, that might be it. Those cards have all, Circulus, those cards have all seen nerfs. Frigid Corona, all not what they used to be. So it might be a little interesting figuring out exactly how we want this deck to look. Hey, Luke Vanes, how's it going? Hey, Spaminob, yeah, we're trying Arcanyst Faie. Or at least I want to try Arcanyst Faie. It's probably going to be terrible. Just looking at this now, like this low end of the spell curve is lacking nowadays. What Arcanysts do we want? I don't know about Kindred Hunter, but Kindred Hunter used to be pretty strong. Seraphim might be a good idea. We could play the combo. Aura's Prophet and Mana Forger are probably the best 2-drops we can play. Ether Master isn't bad. Lightbender is probably good at the moment. Helps against eggs and things. Lawmaster's okay. Lawweaver is mediocre. Alby Sage is good. A single Fugitive for the Spice. Single Blue Conjurer. Trinity Wing. I think maxing out Trinity Wing is best. This card's really good. And as the meta has only gotten faster, Trinity Wing only gets better, I think. Firestarter is okay. Mind Warp is funny. This doesn't feel like enough creatures. I think we play an extra 2-drop and Kindred Hunter, which probably means just playing Circulus, even though it's not that good nowadays. We can play some Kindred Hunters. So that leaves us with 18 spells. I guess we could play Cryptographer. That's a spell. And a backup 2-drop. And we can play Hearth Sister, which means we don't need Circulus, which is good. Yeah, we can play Hearth Sister. Hearth Sister... In fact, we don't need Kindred Hunter. We can play Bloodbound Mentor. Ooh. That might be interesting. Mentor... Cryptographer... So we get to play all these random crappy minions. Cut this Aura's Prophet. Cut these. They are good, but they're not... Like, we've moved away from playing all of the Arcanyst low drops now. We definitely want Flash Freeze, because it's like the best thing you can do with Alby Sage and Conjurer. We want Polarity, because that's why we've got these Hearth Sisters in here. Ravager and Bear are the best removal spells. We'll get 2 of each, I think. Corona is still good. Spells. Corona is still good. Mana Death Grip is okay. It's useful against eggs. Hailstone Prison is good nowadays. And then do we want like some AoE spell? Like a single Frostburn might be a good idea. Or a Flawless. We can play... No, we don't need anything expensive. Where are we? Oh, do you actually have a list for Keeper Kara already, Roxanne? I think... Oh, no, it was the one you sent me, wasn't it? Suku played a pretty strong Arcanyst Faie budget deck. Cards like Essence Sculpt and Flash Freeze. Essence Sculpt, that's interesting. We can also play the Spirit Call, which is a pretty reasonable card. And cheap. Or we can just play Gravity Well for time wasting. I think Faye is better than Lylina though. Especially as now we can play this like package of Crypto Hearth System Mentor, which gives us this inherent chip damage plan, and then we're just going to kill people with Polarity. I don't know if this is enough draw though. It probably is. Maybe we want Conjurer instead of Fugitive because it's more proactive. Yeah. 2 Conjurers and 3 Trinity Wings is probably enough. Especially with Mentors as well. Frigid Corona draws a card. Turning into a Burn Fae deck. That's the point. So, I think the days of Arcanyst Faie as like powerhouse mid-range deck are kind of probably over because Mana Death Grip isn't what it used to be, which makes it much harder to play like Conjurers early and stuff. All the removal's been nerfed, so you don't have quite as many like dominant tempo plays. But what you do still have is Polarity. And Polaritying to hit people for 14 is just like amazing. So I think that might be the way to go nowadays. Chromatic Cold. We could play 1 Chromatic Cold. That might be nice for the last slot actually. Card is just fine. Cheers, Roxanne. I'll open that up now. This is probably going to be really shonky. But I've always liked the idea of playing Cryptographer and Bloodbound Mentor in this deck is just nice.